In Minnesota, there once was a player to whom many generations of Viking fans looked upon as being immortal. He was a defensive end and philosopher named Jim Marshall.
Far better it is to dare mighty things, to win glorious triumphs, even though checkered with failure, than to be ranked with those poor souls who neither enjoy much nor suffer much, for they live in that gray twilight that knows not victory nor defeat. Teddy Roosevelt.
Jim Marshall sought adventure. Adventure, however, for good or bad, never had a problem finding him.
Myra straight back to pass. Looking. Now stops, throws, completes it to Kilmer up at the 30-yard line. Kilmer driving for the first down, loses the football. It's picked up by Jim Marshall, who's running the wrong way. Marshall is running the wrong way. And he's running it into the end zone the wrong way. Thinks he scored a touchdown. He has scored a safety.
Only someone who has brushed with death off the field could ever survive this cruel twist of fate on it. For Jim Marshall, wrong way runs pale in comparison to his life-threatening endeavors. From a Rocky Mountain snowmobile expedition that left one member of his party dead, to numerous other encounters into the unknown, the life and times of Jim Marshall reads like a Hollywood horror show, scary and humorous, and hard to believe.
Little silver things were dancing in front of my eyes, and I kind of felt like this might be it, you know. And it was a little strange to feel that way after having been, you know, the athlete and never quitting and all those things. And I said, "Boy, you really f***ed up. You have really f***ed up. You are going to die." I watched all my limbs break as I hit the ground. I watched my legs snap and my foot come up into my groin, held on by the calf muscle back here. The bone of the leg stuck down in the ground. I remember sitting up in the bed and blood just kind of started running down my face, and it was just pumping out. And the artery that had been nicked had deteriorated and burst.
This story's making me sick.
Dude, I didn't get to the good part.
Sure.
They lost me on that one on the operating table, and I remember being up, looking back at myself laying on the table, and I told them everything that they did.
No, they never lost Jim Marshall. Ironically, over the course of 20 years on the playing field, he hardly suffered a scratch. By playing in 282 consecutive games, Marshall established an NFL record of endurance that may never be broken. He also went on to run the right way with his fumble recoveries. In Minnesota, Marshall was not merely admired, he was worshipped. By his fans, his teammates, and even his longtime legendary coach.
But Jim Marshall was a special kind of person. I always called him Mr. Marshall. And we had a good relationship. He was our captain as long as he was here. He was exactly what a captain should be. And if I would say, okay, guys, let's do this, Jim Marshall would be first in line. And if we had a rookie and line up and say, well, there goes Jim Marshall doing this, full speed, full bore, played 15 years, hey, I got to do it. And those are the kind of people you have to have in a football team. Jim Marshall was very special.
Yes, we do often mistakenly believe that professional athletes are immortal. But the man carrying the football here may well have been the exception. For if ever there was an indestructible football player, he was number 70 for the Minnesota Vikings, a maverick named Jim Marshall.